Hey Farshad, thanks for joining us on another video.
Thank you for having me here, Jason, again. I'm glad to be here. First, I want to wish everyone to be safe, healthy in this environment that we are in. Stay away from each other, just keep that distancing going. You'll be safe.
Social distancing and more Zoom meetings, for sure.
Yes.
So let's kind of chat about what we want to dive into. We've been posting a few videos. The recent one about gold pricing doing extremely well, and we got some feedback. People realize you have an investment background, that you do some investments yourself, and some people aren't as versed obviously in mining as you are. So we were getting questions, people talking about what's kind of your investment criteria in a small medium cap mining company, and what do you look for, and do you think Double View kind of fits those factors?
Yes. The- there are first generally about the investment type that I've made during the years. Uh, Basically, I've started from zero. And the first investment I had was $30,000. I put it in one company without any study, and all of a sudden wiped out. Still, I have that stock because it was a good lesson for myself to do your study, do your homework, and spend money wisely. The other thing is I have criteria in my portfolio. Basically, I should say I have one oil investment and one oil future, and the rest of them are resource investment. And I have done the math for myself to see every 5 years I have a shot to cash in good. I've cashed in good amount of money several times over the years, and basically from being really poor to where I am, I've made all my money in resources industry, in the stock market, and relatively lowest risk of the highest risk category. So that's been my criteria. So when I go around the company, first thing I look at the commodity that they have, what kind of commodity it is. Generally, I invest when no one invests in anything like that. I go around something that no one likes it, but I see it in the next year, two, it's going to be a flavor of the market. I never invest on the hype. Mm, Gold is not a hype. Right now, still, we should talk about that. But I invest in things that they're not flavor of the market, 100% today, that they are on the radar. And I spend time on it. Sometimes for my biggest investment, I spent about 8 years on that. And I made the biggest gains. And this has been the criteria I've chosen. I don't go to the higher because of the financial situation that I have had and I have. In, I'm not a big player. I don't have $10 million all of a sudden to put in certain companies. I don't go to the highest risk ones. And higher categories, let's say $20 stock, $30 stock. In order to have a stock, let's say 5, 6 cents, to double, it's very quickly happening. That if you see a stock, let's say banks, in order for them to double, it takes 5 years to double, while the other ones instantly can happen. So that's been the criteria. I've been very pleased with what I've done, and I like it the way I'm doing that. And so far, it has shown that it works during the years. Now, why do I go for gold, copper, and silver? Basically, amongst all the things around you, uh, the best ones and the most secure system, although they fluctuate, although they go down, although they go into sort of sleep during the years, is gold, silver, copper. They always are around. I just need 5 or 10 years of cycle to survive in there. And then after 5, 10 years, all of a sudden things go the direction that I want. Believe it or not, one time I invested $15,000 in one company and I just forgot about it. And you know, people for another financing were asking me, can you do this financing? Can you do? I said, I got my money in that and that and that. Still, I'm tied up. So I helped them a little bit. But one morning I woke up. It was 5:30 in the morning. That stock was 14, 15 cents. All of a sudden went to $2.70 something. During the time I bought some too, I couldn't. I was selling that day. I was feeding the market. Made hefty money. Yes, the risk is there, but the reward is much larger than the risk. You need in the 10 stocks that I have in my portfolio, I just need two of them to win. I just don't need all of them to win. I will wait for the other ones too. If they go bust, I haven't had anything to go bust so far. Thank God. Crossing our fingers, I'm not
Well,
gonna have.
it's interesting, right? So, you're coming from the mentality of, picking number one, pick an asset that you like, right? Which is really what you're saying. So gold, copper, silver, gold's obviously performing well. So if you're an investor, looking at the gold, industry, first of all, now you have a background where you have an incredible mining background. So you're able to spot opportunities better than others. So you're looking at gold, after your kind of research. And then on top of that, what you're saying, I think, is very true. Pick an industry that you think is going up and put a couple horses in the race, because who knows, some will win more than others, and you might love one company that doesn't perform as well as you think it would, but this other company crushed it, right? So I think you're kind of touching on a lot of great points. Put a couple horses in the race. Gold's looking incredible right now, and then kind of linking this all back to DoubleView. I know you're saying gold, you're saying copper. All things are huge at the Hat Project with DoubleView. Is that why kind of you would identify DoubleView might be a great kind of horse to put in the race for the gold industry?
Absolutely. There is a second criteria I always have. People are saying management, management, management. No, I believe look at their activities on the commodity, on the material that they have. For instance, our art is drilling. Our art to increase the volume of this deposit or any deposit before. I go to that company and I see have they worked on it for several consecutive years, or they were at something today, the next year they're chasing batteries, the fourth year they're chasing, let's say, the cosmetic material. I am working with the companies, investing in companies that they are consistent. They are keep following what they say they have done it. And that's what I do. Now, uh, honestly, if you look at DoubleView, you see every year we've been active. That's one thing. Second, they are proven that we have a deposit. Third, we're increasing this deposit's volume. This footprint of this deposit is very large. And this is based on gold. Gold is, this system is calling the shot for us. And thank God so far, we've been successful. In the past news release, we have announced significant length in gold values. We've shown it in the past too. Now the deposit at this stage is 600-700 meters by 600-700 meters by 300-400 meters. The next news release that we're gonna have has the shot to move the size of it from 700 meters to 950 meters, or it depends on the values that we get in the news release. Hopefully, they're good. We're going to increase it by almost a kilometer. That increases the value of the deposit significantly. Is the game over? No, game has started. Every step we go, the game starts a new step. And I'm looking at the end game. What is the end game? You can check on the junior mining companies that they've been consistent. They followed the track that they've had. They increased their deposit. At some point, they take action. That action could be selling the company. Action could be JV with a bigger one. That's where you make the biggest dough.
Yeah, for a lot of people, they talk, small, medium-sized, mining companies. Where you're really hoping as an investor is that exactly like what you said, they get bought out or there's a JV that happens, and it seems like Delview might be getting towards that kind of decision point people are talking about, right? It's looking a lot clearer, and I guess kind of linking it back, to gold. Where do you think gold's going? We've done chats. Obviously, gold's a hot topic, and do you think now's the perfect time to be putting some runners in the race?
Absolutely. Here's what's going to shock you. Gold hasn't performed at all. What you see hasn't started yet. What's going to happen? It's going to start. I don't know now or when, but I think around July, we're going to have another bump going up. We're going to have another November, December, beautiful. But somewhere, and I don't know where, when things with this coronavirus ends and markets go back, we're going to see one of the kind market that we haven't seen it for many, many years. And that's where gold, then you don't want to be an ambulance chaser. Just, you don't want to be there. You got to put your value right now, capture the value for future increase. And how do we get it? I had a conversation today with a person who went to buy gold right in the United States. Gold is trading 1750. But if you want to get it in your hand, you cannot buy it for $2,000 right now in the United States, anywhere. And so is silver, so is copper. You can't hold it in your hand. It's a lot and much more expensive to hold it in your hand. We already know it's hot, it's going to get hotter. So how do I go into gold market while I cannot buy even a wafer of that for an ounce? Go to stocks connected with the gold market. Their business is gold. Delview right now, we're gold and copper and silver and cobalt.
Oh, I think that's great. Honestly, I think you touched on a lot of things, and for people that aren't that involved in the kind of metal side of investing, I think there's a lot of insight to be taken from this, and I think there's a lot of questions that people might have. And if there's further questions, I know you're extremely active in Telegram, as well as on LinkedIn. Drop your questions below. If there's things you want to have us take a look at, make sure to mention them. And one last thing before we end, a lot of people are talking about the area that Delview is in, and by that I mean there's other companies near Delview that are having great results and seeing great traction. And would it be fair to make a similar kind of assumption that, hey, if they're seeing great traction, great results, that hopefully the company stuck in the middle would also?
Absolutely. I think we had, when we discovered the HAT project in 2013, 2014, we started rallying that area of our own. It's called Golden Triangle in northern British Columbia. And major mining companies are in there and major deposits are in there. And basically, here's the fact. The only company that hasn't started the run or anything, it has been W, and there's been reason for it because we have assays to come out, and these assays, I have a lot of hope for that when it comes out, and I believe uh, we're going to be in a very good shape. That's what I believe.
Awesome. Well, let's leave it there. Hopefully next time we're chatting, we'll be chatting about some assays, and we'll be able to go in further detail about, you know, what's next for DoubleView. But thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Have a nice day.